To be honest, I was very skeptical about Claude Code Teams, just more token burn and chaos, but I actually tried it and I was really happily surprised. Yes, it used a lot more token to be wary about that, but if you use it right, it's worth it, definitely. And just to be clear here, this is not a get started video on Claude Code Teams. This is a video about tactics and concepts, how to get the most out of Claude Code Teams. There is two problems that we can solve with Claude Code Teams. I'll just call them Teams onward. And one of them is the context window. We can improve it a lot. And the other one is self-approval bias. It can't really review itself, and that is a problem. If you ask the AI, how was this code? If it was written by the AI, it will always say it's wonderful, just to get done, so to say. And that's the problem with LLMs, how they work this today. And the context window is always challenging. You do research and exploration, you have agents. But as soon as you start filling up that context window, you get more and more problems. So yeah, I think that's a challenge. And also with agents, you have the Explorer agent, but if you want to ask a follow-up question, you need to spin it all up again. So I see challenge with it that you definitely can solve with Teams. So which are the four Teams roles that I always, or not always, but I often use? One is the implementer. It explores, plans, implements, test, and fix bugs. This is kind of the core one, which is the actual doer. And then I have a researcher. The main of the researcher is to do the exploration and do everything that the implementer needs, fetch everything, and be able to answer follow-up questions. Then we have the reviewer, which actually reviews the implementer work. So it checks the plan, it checks the implementation, the tests and the bug fixes and so on. So it gives all the time feedback and is a sounding board for the implementer. And then we have the coordinator. There's a warning here I want to say. If you have auto compact on the main agent, everything crashes. So therefore I have a coordinator to reduce the risk of that. So the coordinator keeps track on everyone and makes sure that everything is running smoothly. It's also great to have a coordinator if you have multiple teams. How I use the coordinator when I have multiple teams is I do pair programming with multiple pairs of AIs. So I have an AI implementer and a reviewer in pairs. And I normally run about 3 teams and one coordinator. And that coordinator is not the main agent. Once again, this is a coordinator agent. So there's total 7 team members spawning in at this place to make it really fast. This is not that exact, and you don't get the super great performance that you get with the other one, which creates great result in my experience. I think it's funny when I was thinking about this because normally the AI programming is quite far away from human management skills, but the more you move to the team and how you work with teams, I realized that it's pretty much like thinking about the same way. It's like, oh, how do I see the challenge for a team member? How do I see the strengths in a team member? How do I set up different team members together to get great processes and in similar way? It's the same way with teams. So it's kind of funny how it loops back that how I use my team management skills now with AI instead. But of course, I love working with humans. I mean, it's really great to work with like flesh and blood humans, and that I think that's great. But it's just funny how it turns back on it. And I would love to hear your insights on how to work with teams. Maybe we can have some learning down in the comments on these concepts. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.